I personally like a cow horse, you know, for the rein cow horse. I like a horse that's good on a cow. And, you know, but the thing is, that horse at several of the events here at the World's Greatest last year and at his 4-year-old year at the Derby, you know, he was a high horse in the reining. You know, I mean, I think as far as breeders go, you know, he could sire cutting horses as well as rein cow horses, you know, but it just has that ability to be versatile and be very good on a cow, but also be very good in the reining. You know, that horse turned around really, really nice, had a big stop, and yet, you know, cut a cow very well. I think that, like I said, the herd work, I think he'd won just about every herd work there was at all the age events we went to.
Competing in cow horse with John and cutting with Russ Westfall, he showed there was nothing that would stand in his way.
Very Smart Remedy was a horse I got in his 4-year-old year after John had trained him. Extremely great athlete. Big stopper, real quick-footed, extremely cowy, and it's really hard for a lot of horses to do the cow horse deal and still come to the cutting and be very competitive. And that horse was very competitive against some nice horses his 4- and 5-year-old year. Extremely talented horse. You know, just a great individual. Yeah, there's no telling what he could have won if he was just been cutting strictly, because he was a big-time horse. When I won Idaho on him, he beat some awful good horses, and I went to Paso and beat some awful good horses, won both go-rounds. He was a very competitive horse in the cutting, but you know, who's to say? But I mean, if he had only been cut on, he was good enough to win anywhere at any place. Those kind of horses, in my experience, those really, really, really great horses, they're not necessarily always made. They're kind of born. I mean, guys always want to say, well, that great hand made that great horse, but them great horses make great hands. And he was a great horse, and he is.
Thank you. That was Very Smart Remedy, owned by Annie Reynolds-Jones, shown by Russ Westfall.
He was too consistent, too pure. He won with several different people riding him in different venues. I have 2 studs of my own. I'm going to breed some mares to him because I think he'll be a sire. I really do.
Very Smart Remedy's presence in the show pen was undeniable, attracting the attention of some of the country's top trainers.
You know, I saw John Roger with that horse from early in his 3-year-old year, clear, you know, all through his career. And the horse just always was a big athlete, just always had that little something extra about him, you know, that would grab your attention. And I think that horse got better the older he got, you know, matured and just got better and better, and obviously his record speaks for itself. And so hopefully that athleticism and, you know, and that brightness that he had, he'll pass on to his babies.
In today's world, you know, we're breeding performance horses, and when you look at a performance horse, you have to look at his record and look at the record this horse has, and he's done it the hard way. He did it weekend after weekend or month after month. He didn't win all of his money all at one time. You know, so that's a sign of the performance horse that we're trying to breed today.
And going back to when we first rode him as a 2-year-old, you know, I just felt like there was, you know, I always felt like there was greatness there, you know, you could just tell. And, you know, he's one of those horses that, you know, the first ride on him was a lasting impression on him, because I don't know that, he probably had 3 months training on him when I first got on him, and I thought that he felt about as good as any 2-year-old I'd ever been on. You know, he just had that feel, and he had a lot of listened to you a lot, and he had a lot of stop as a 2-year-old.
And Shorty himself, I mean, you know, he's got a heart of a lion. I mean, just watching when he shows, you know, he stops real hard. He has an ability that you don't see in a lot of horses. He went through 2 different trainers, 2 different disciplines. You know, he might be cutting this week, running a cow down the fence the next week, and, you know, a lot of people would like to say once you run them down the fence, they're not as good at cutters. Well, he proves that theory wrong. I think, you know, the more they ran him down the fence, the better he was in the cutting pen, if the truth's known, for me to watch him, you know. So, you know, he just kind of weighs all odds and just goes on. I mean, he's a super athlete, and he can do 3 different events, 4 now since he's been the world's greatest horseman, you know, and he does them all in the high marks. That's a breeding horse for you, or that's a sign of the horse you want to breed to see if he's going to pass it on to your baby.
When choosing a stallion, several factors are a must. A strong, balanced conformation, a proven pedigree, and a winning, versatile performance record. Very Smart Remedy has it all. So when it comes time to breed your mares, you should place him at the very top of your list.